I think Shaq is Shaq, can you hear us? No, I guess as soon as he okay.
Are we in? We good now?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
I
good now.
think so.
I don't know what happened there. Halfway through the intro, I just the big stop, and everybody went blank. So okay, but we here.
Uh,
Welcome to Island fans, everybody. It's another night. We're talking about football, and I mean it's the intro that we just had was kind of in keeping with what UEFA had going on for themselves today. And even like and Jamal, I hope you can educate me tonight and educate everybody else on what really happened in Formula One because I'm reading all the tweets yesterday. I'm like, yo, what am I saying, boy? What happened? And then I watched the clip and they're saying, okay, yeah, it looked like a fear overtake to me, but then some technicalities there. So I'm hoping that you could shed some light on that for me because it seems like it's a weekend of our blunders.
It was
mhm.
a crazy weekend of blunders. So Lewis Hamilton was leading the race from I think the second lap when he got in front of Verstappen, and then they changed tires around the 12 lap mark, and he came on. He was leading the race again, just pulling away, and then in about the 53rd lap, they had an accident, and
Mm,
there's multiple rules that you can run when you have an accident in this case. So the accident required them to clear the car off the track and clear the debris off the track. So what happened was they didn't red flag the race because if you red flag the race, all the cars would have to start from the start line again and have a straight run to the finish. But what they did was virtual safety car the race. So they put a virtual safety
mm,
car, and all the cars have to keep driving around the track until they clear that car off the track and it's deemed safe to race again. But with the virtual safety car running, they had cars in between Hamilton and Verstappen because of Hamilton passing them on the track. So they were lapped cars. So these cars were like um, 10, 11, 12, all the way down to about 20 between Hamilton and Verstappen. Now, the rule states that when the race is about to start back after a virtual safety car or after a safety car, so that all lapped cars must unlap themselves to start in a proper manner again.
mm,
So the car was cleared by the 56 lap out of 57 or 57 out of 58. And if they had all the lapped cars unlap themselves, then you would have had the race finish under the safety car, which means Hamilton would have finished first, Verstappen would have finished second, and you wouldn't have any racing from 53 to 58, the last 5 laps. But what happened was
mm,
they just unlapped the cars in between Hamilton and Verstappen. Now,
mm,
Hamilton didn't change his tires again throughout the whole race. So he was running on tires from the 12th lap all the way up to the end. And Verstappen had just changed his tires when the safety car came out. So he had two laps on his tires, which means he would have been faster and more grip and everything
mm,
to go for it. And like I said, the rules say you have to unlap every car. But what they did was just unlap the cars in between the two of them, gave them one lap
mm,
to race, and then put Verstappen right behind Hamilton and said, race to the end, which is not
mm,
fair. And Mercedes have
mm,
appealed it twice to say it's not fair. You shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff. There were a lot of other altercations in the race where behind the safety car, you're not allowed to pass each other, but Verstappen was ahead of Hamilton for a couple of seconds. They took that away, and then the last thing is that you have to unlap all the cars, and they did not unlap all the cars. So that's why they said
mhm.
it's rigged, and Mr. Massey, Mr. Massey had a massive blunder, and like we should have been celebrating Hamilton winning his 8th title here, but instead, Verstappen took his first, which I would
Mm,
say well deserved. He raced terrifically throughout the season. Showed no fear. When he came on the scene a couple of years ago, we were like, yeah, this guy is gonna win a world title in a couple of years. It's a shame it had to be done in such a way where it was
yeah.
basically handed on a plate to him in the
Mhm,
final race, because Hamilton would have really took it if it came down to a fair race at the end, but it wasn't.
If I
Yeah,
could just get in here quickly, of course, guys, I know, and they're cussing in the comments over here. But of course, I know it's a football show, but I just really wanted to understand. So then, Jamal, why wasn't the decision overturned? What was the technicalities there?
they haven't released the statement as yet. But what we see is that the FIA threw out both of the appeals that Mercedes had, which was Verstappen being ahead of Hamilton and the unlapped safety cars. But the what it will come down to is the race director, Mr. Massey, saying that he wanted for the final race of the season them to have a race to the finish. But under the circumstances, it was an unfair race to the finish. So that's what Mercedes are going to keep arguing.
Right.
And like I said, he unlapped only 5 cars when it was supposed to be about 8 or 9 cars to unlap themselves. And if it took those 8 or 9 cars to unlap themselves, then they would have gone around again and it would have ended under the safety car. So I think he just wanted a spectacle in the end, and it's either going to drive fans away or bring them back again next season. But you can hear the uproar already about how it's been just stolen from Hamilton in the end.
All right. Well, hey guys, that is your weekly F1 update. All right. More thing, good night. Quick saying nothing was fair about that. You know exactly what he did. O'Neal is saying rig. I think he and Julius is going at it. I know Julius is saying you wait for them the biggest critique must ever see. Okay, he's saying the Julian when they cry when Manchester United drop PSG. I believe so. He said, why explain that to Shaq? He does not speak CL terms. I know that was coming. It's okay, bro. It's okay. All right, guys. Before we get to the CL, let's jump to the Premier League, because in my mind, I think it was, yes, we did have some close finishes, but I think it wasn't, by and large, an underwhelming match week in the Premier League. I think, for me personally, looking at it, you had a lot of penalties within the game. Some, in my opinion, were not justifiable penalties. And I was like, you know what? Nah. So, let's start here. What was the goal of the weekend? Because in my mind, I'm just thinking it's probably that Lacazette goal. Was there any other good goal that I scored this weekend?
Gallagher had a really good goal.
Yeah, the winner. Right, the 3-1. Okay, that's true. Gallagher. Where's it, Jamal?
I think that's about it. Leicester had some goals as well. I don't think they had all penalties either. But yeah, I'd go with Gallagher's goal for the weekend. Like every game on Saturday except Arsenal's game had a penalty in it.
Let me check the game from Saturday, but I know the game on Friday that had a penalty in it. On Saturday we had City had 1, Chelsea had 2, but Leeds had 1 as well. Liverpool and United. Yeah, you're right, Jamal. And the Friday game had 1 also.
Yeah, every game except Arsenal.
All right, so we seen O'Neal saying Gallagher. They say shot chances and your chances as Manchester United chances of winning the CL is the same. I like that. Go on body up O'Neal. Don't make it talk to me some more. Go on body up. All right, so guys, let's jump in. Moy, you're here. Good night, Moy. Thanks for coming in. We were talking about the goals of the weekend. Any player stood out for you? Any player? Please don't say Raheem Sterling. You know you're doing this.
Yeah, Sterling stood out for me.
Okay, because he usually misses the penalties, right?
Yeah, it's a big thing now. It's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, you get a penalty, you gotta put them away.
Madison had a good game.
You're right.
In that the game, Madison was good.
Gallagher, I guess.
Yeah, Gallagher. Yeah, that was it between those two, Madison and Gallagher for me.
Quasi saying Mings was good. Mings was good. Okay, that's play versus Liverpool. And okay, let's wait till we get to the game.
Just up to that point before he gave away the penalty, but I guess they were keeping Liverpool at bay. On the road. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Guy needs to start for England. I think this is a bit of a stretch. Is England that good?
Who, Gallagher?
He mentioned Mings earlier, and then he said Guy needs to start for England. I'm guessing he's talking about Mings.
Well, if he's starting to get ahead of Maguire, I'd say go for it, but I don't know who else he's going to start
Could he
ahead of.
start? Could he even start in front of Ben White? Connor
Or
Cody,
Debatable.
Stones.
Nah, he won't start
Yeah.
ahead of Stones, I don't think. That's the other one I had in mind. But I think it's a toss up between the rest of them. He could partner Stones in the midfield thing, in the central defense.
Okay. All right. So right, as I was saying, guys, underwhelming weekend of football in the Premier League in my mind. I mean, I guess you can say you credit Norwich a bit. And let's start there at the United game. They won 1-0. Norwich had some good moments in that game, but then again, it's a penalty. Was it a justified penalty? Anybody see the game?
I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
I mean, he did tug Ronaldo's shirt, yeah.
Yeah, I think he pulled him down. It's a clear penalty.
Yeah.
But what
you really it's not a blame that you can really put on a striker because you in the box. You realize the defender is wagging you up like that. You're going to lead the bait with it, and it's always going to probably most of the times go your way.
Yeah.
So is the Ragnick, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is the Ragnick project in full effect right now. And this is where Jimmy comes in and spams the comments. You'll see when I bring them up. This is where he tells you.
Yeah, go ahead, Suko.
I think it's still a little early, because I mean, you're still seeing a bit of the disconnect between with them going forward. It's still not smooth, and I mean, he has been honest in his interviews as well, and he has said that that's the thing with him. He's an honest manager. That's one of the things I can see, and he knows they're not there when it comes to that. So for me, it's just hold and wait and see how they shape up for the balance of the games in the year, and then how they start off in the new year. I guess given a transfer window in January.
Okay, Wreck-It Ralph says O'Neill. Crazy saying who they played for you to say that. It was just a question. I'm asking whether or not if we can really say the Ragnick his tenure at United is kicked off. Jamal, you wanted to comment?
Yeah, so I was watching the redraw today, and when they had to redraw United again, the pundits were saying that you can't judge the team as yet. I think it's only been 2 games under him. So exactly what Suku was saying. It's still a bit early to judge it, but it will come down to the business end of the season next season, end of this season, where after this tough Christmas period and right after January, if they don't have any injuries, when you have Champions League games, you got the end of cup games and the Premier League to contend for. Will these players have that switch on mentality to keep going and keep pushing? And they think that's what Ralph Ragnick will bring in, and that takes time to implement. And luckily they brought him in now and not in January after the window or in February or March. Is that he has time to now instill it into them and then wait for the next manager to come in and keep that up.
And the thing about it too, they have a lot of key injuries right now, still dealing with, like Varane. You have Martial to an extent, because if you're gonna go into the business end of the season, then that squad has to be big enough to be able to keep competing on all the fronts. So, like Jamal said, on the business end of it, that's when you will be able to see. So.
All right. Chris, you're saying that's what mid-table teams do: struggle to beat bottom table teams, lose to top teams, and then draw with them around them. I hear you, and I know that shots fired. But I guess a more fair question would be, Jamal and Sukwa, have we seen improvements then in this Manchester United team? And as O'Neill is rightfully saying here, COVID, they're going through COVID right now.
Yeah.
So the game may be postponed. Have we seen improvement?
Everybody going through COVID right now. Arsenal got COVID cases.
Arsenal got COVID cases.
So we might see a pause in the league, to be honest. With all
Villa having 1 or 2 themselves.
Yeah, and like I said, it's running through England like wildfire at the moment. So I'm not sure if we'll see the end of the window where we can see games being played. But
Well, I'm hoping for football's sake, just so I can see football every day, man. Just for
Yeah.
football's sake. All right, guys, let's push on. Good night, Joe. Hashtag Mesut Ramsdale. And it's one thing, Joe. Joe. You're supposed to give people their flowers while they're still alive. And I will honestly say, bro, you have been on the Ramsdale train. Even I think in the summer when the news first broke, and I can remember everybody laughing at you. And now you're seeing your redemption. Let's jump straight to the Arsenal game and answer this question first. How do you feel seeing Ramsdale performing like this? And you even hear talks now, Joe, about Ramsdale being the captain of Arsenal.
Yeah, I listen. This man has single-handedly come in and changed so much in the team, right? Because one of the main things with him is I don't even know how to describe it. The way he leads from the back,
Ramsdale make it
right?
last for words.
He's very vocal, and that so you've gone from somebody who's not vocal at all to somebody who is maybe sometimes too vocal. Because listen, this man full antics too, if it's one thing. Because for example, you will see the backline. He communicates with the backline. So for example, let's say Gabriel and Ben White are um, prepping themselves. So the man already backing off Jackie in to read the play, but they don't see something. Ramsey is already behind them communicating with them. If you make a good interception or whatever, he runs out to you, he high fives, he tells you, basically, good job. You make a mistake, he comes to you, he screams in your face, and then tell you, let's go again. You understand? That makes a difference. But the most important thing about Ramsdale is his level of comfort on the ball, even when under pressure. Because we can talk about the first goal we scored, right? They were pressing high and they gave the ball. So we ended up passing the ball back to Ramsdale. And Ramsdale got to the ball and sucked in three attackers?
Right.
Like 3 attackers to create that space and then confidently just played the ball out to behind you. And that is something we see week in, week out. And it's not even just the ability, with the ball at his feet when being pressed. But then, have you all seen this man's statistics for distribution? Like his passes are ridiculously accurate. Like it's crazy. The accuracy of this man's passes.
did you see the one to Martinelli?
Yes, that's why I have the name Mesut Ramsdale, bro. And honestly speaking, Martinelli could have done better with that because the pass that's an Özil pass. Özil is one of those few defenders that when he gives you a pass, the pass does all the work for you. It beats the defender everything. You just need to do your job. That was one of those passes.
Yeah, I've got something to say. I mean, I had a friend in the stadium at the game as well, and he was saying after every goal, Ramsdale was knee sliding in front of the fans, just joy. They didn't show us on camera, but that's what he was doing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I saw it.
They were also saying that he's very impressionable on players and the backroom staff at the club. So it's not just a show on the pitch where you see he's and all that sort of stuff. But
and even with that knee slide he did after he scored that goal too.
But not even that game. Which game was it? Was it the Leicester game where they were bantering him and he joined them and continued the chant with them and then kicked the ball and he was hyping them up. Listen,
I remember that. So Joe, to answer, remember the question. Ramsdale captain?
A future captain.
For me, I wouldn't say just yet. I understand why there is the hype, but bro, we've had play. If we're going to make Ramsdale captain, I mean, why not give Tierney the captain then? Tierney has been there before him. Tierney is just as passionate. So when it comes to that, for me, you give the captain to somebody like a Tierney or Gabriel, who has consistently been our best centre back. Although the one or two drop offs where he was sick and all of that, but for the most part, he's been our best centre back, and he does a good job in terms of leading. If you watch anytime there's any issues on the field, he's quick to get to the front of it and to protect everybody. So I think TNE shouts.
Yeah.
For now.
Shaq, just a side note.
Go ahead, Super.
I think it seems like the news broke that they have suspended the Man United Brentford game.
Oh,
That's supposed to be the first game of the week from tomorrow.
That's supposed to be tomorrow, ain't it? Right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
If I was Arsenal, I'd be livid right now because they made us play that first game when we had COVID. But these games at the moment,
And they asked Arteta that in his press conference. I was waiting to see his answer because for me, I find that to be crazy because Tottenham had 5 or 6 outbreaks, and they did say that the majority were staff.
Yeah,
we had an outbreak. We had an outbreak, and the majority were players, and we still had to play the game.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep, that's exactly it. And Joe, when I say agenda, they laugh at me. But it's clear. Jamal, let me come to you a little bit about our captain. Our captain, I'm hearing stories. He got permission to leave the country, but then he came back late, and then he arrived early for training. I don't understand. However, do you think he should be stripped of the captaincy? And do you think that this talk about him being stripped of the captaincy is because he's in such a bad form? Let's roll back our minds to 2 years ago. If he was that Aubameyang, would we have the same energy towards stripping him of his captaincy?
No, we wouldn't. I was just having this conversation with a friend as well. He broke club rules by coming back late, right? I don't think that is enough to strip him of the captaincy. So it is based on current form, and that you wouldn't see him playing much more games in the team if he doesn't pick up his form, because you see all these other players come in and actually perform. So stripping the captaincy, I think, is now solely down based to his performance, which I think at the moment he's going through a slump, and you don't take your captaincy away from a player who's going through a slump, because that is not only demotivating, but you're showing you don't care and you're pushing the player away. Now that will have reverberations throughout the club, all the way down to the youth level, to show you don't respect people, you don't respect players. So I don't think you should strip in a captaincy just because of that. So he should remain club captain, but if he's not playing, then he can't be the captain on the field.
All right, Joe.
The only how you strip him of that club captain is if it's a case where he's basically been a repeat offender, not just with this, but with different things, and you've already had the conversation with him about it. But at the same time, too, even if you're going to strip him, now is not the ideal time. I think you allow all this media coverage and everything to die down, and then you find a way to slowly do that. For me, even more so, come to an agreement with him where let him be the one to step down. Come up, give a statement saying, currently with what's going on, due to my mistakes, blah blah blah. I don't think right now, I'm fit.
But is that the second suspension that he's had and that?
Yeah, we had the one with the Tottenham with the the North London Derby.
The North London Derby, yeah.
Where he said he was in traffic because they said the traffic was crazy that day. And then now this one with him leaving, the agreement was to come back the same day. Instead, he came back in the morning. He went to training early thinking it would be okay. But then due to the new variant and them reestablishing the emergency protocols, he had to go and all this craziness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, quickly there, Joe. Your slices are in the comments. Odegaard is 3-3. Is Odegaard doing what we want him to do right
in the comments? Sharp haters only show up when you do bad now. Of course, Odegaard is not. Of course, Slice is not in the comments. The Odegaard hater. The boy had 3-3, and I will give him Odegaard. Yo, I feel. Smith will whisper something in the Odegaard ear.
No.
Right now, Odegaard is doing the Smith rule runs. Where he's making.
Let me ask you guys, Jamal and Joe, quickly, Moy and Suga coming to your game. Let me get to them, because I've been wondering, How does Smith Rowe, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't be. Okay, but okay, let me ask it this way. Who gets dropped for Smith Rowe on Wednesday?
Nobody. For me
Nobody.
personally, you bring Smith Rowe off the bench.
And then have him work his way back to a full
Precisely.
position.
Yeah, for me
Unlike,
personally.
unlike what we did with Shaka, but go ahead.
Yeah. For me
Right,
personally.
exactly, Jamal. So then we see Arteta bringing in people who he trusts all the time. You trust Shaka, you bring him right back in. Smith Rowe been doing well ever since last year Boxing Day. So are you sure Martinelli won't be dropped?
Oh,
no, but
we'll be sure.
That would be unfair. That would be very unfair because since Martinelli has been given the chance, he's almost been our best player every game. Right. To be honest, that last game, as much as they gave Odegaard the man of the match, had Martinelli gotten a goal, for me, he was the man of the match because he did so much. Even for the goal that Odegaard scored, Martinelli created that space for him. So for me,
the Gabriel goal
from Gabriel's header. Yeah, so Gabriel to Gabriel.
a lot of the praise I'm seeing for Martinelli over the weekend on Twitter was saying that it almost looks Alexis Sanchez like. Is that too high of a praise?
No, it looks like Martinelli. I mean, depend on that. It looks Martinelli like. Alexis Sanchez like. And nobody. It look Martinelli like Smith Rowe like all this Croyd and Cade. No, Emile Smith Rowe.
All right. Joe, I think this is one of the persons you were talking about the haters. Shake my head. This is exactly what Arsenal do to their fans. Build them up just to know the inevitable.
Like other clubs don't do the same, yeah? Just Arsenal fans, because we're Arsenal fans.
So wait, who Kwesi back? And United Kwesi back?
No, he's a Liverpool fan.
Oh, Liverpool fan, okay.
Meaning that he has surfaced over the past five years.
Yeah.
Just say. All right. More. We come to you. We come to you. A fortunate penalty. I mean, I think you should have. There was another shot where you could have gotten the penalty. A fortunate penalty because the one that they call, I don't think that's a penalty because of where the ball hit him. What are your thoughts on the game overall, and whether or not do you really think that's a penalty? You already got your points. Do you think it's a penalty?
You don't have to say all that. Anyway, when I saw it, it was kind of iffy because I think the ball nearly knocked him like right on his armpit or something like that.
Right.
But I don't know. It's a tricky one. I'm glad for it, but it's still tricky on why it was given. But they say because his arm was way up, so that led into the decision being easy. But I don't know. But it was given. Sterling stepped up to take the penalty, and the Lord know my heart was in my hand when I saw Sterling stepped up because his boys aren't good at penalties at all. But the confidence was there. He stepped up, he backed it. Not like before, the keeper normally save it and then he tapped it in. But it was good. He joined the 100 club.
Oh yeah.
Edison got his 100 clean sheet also. It was a game and our City the chances wasn't there. We didn't take the chances. Grealish basically missed the sitter, as you would say, because I think a player of his caliber is supposed to put that away. We had like a trade a load of chances. 1-0 victory. Cancelo not there for the next game. Just that goal. Yeah, he picked up the yellow card.
He's suspended.
What's up with him though?
Yeah, that yellow card.
What is it?
The thing with Cancelo. Yeah. The thing with Cancelo, he picks up very cheap yellow cards that he can avoid. Because he tends to nipping every time. I was like, just relax, but it's there. So, but it's always a good 3 points victory. We move.
All right. Monty saying the stoppage time on coming there, Joe. The stoppage time on with Foden was more of a pen than the one that we got. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, that's a fact because that was rough. That ball knocked that man flush in his rib cage. And I was like, give the referee the benefit of the doubt. VAR's gonna overrule it. And then I saw a penalty. I was like, whoa, yo, that
Typical
was
VAR
rough.
fashion, isn't it?
But then that would have been crazy though for City to draw against 10-man Wolves. That'd have been real crazy.
Yeah.
But Moy and Cancelo. Cancelo played two outside of the foot passes over the last defender to Sterling, right? Bro, this man's technique is crazy.
Mm.
What was this? And the accuracy of his passes.
Right.
If had you had a better striker, a better somebody that was more clinical. For example, the first one Sterling could have hit it one time. The second one,
Yep.
he was aggressive towards it, and then it's like he just made up his mind. I'm probably not going to get it and stopped. But if you had like a real clinical forward in front there, getting those kind of balls, yeah, I would have probably been up too long time.
Yeah, because it was a case. It was just a case. I think we had like 20 something shots in that game, if I'm correct, and then we only managed our one goal. And at that point in time, it gets frightening because we normally see those type of games where City dominate, have these a lot of shots, and then these teams just come up and just nick one. Like City has these type of games. But the thing with Cancelo that's really outstanding that he's that player that extra creativity that that even Seth De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva is playing. He steps into that midfield role and tends to give that extra ball or
Mm.
whatever it is.
So,
All right.
quick question. Just one question for you, Moy. If you had to choose out of your current team, right? The regular players. If you had to choose a weakest link, who would you say it is?
A good question.
Uh, um,
It's a good question, Joe.
that's good. I normally have complaints about the left back, but Cancelo has that sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
I probably say the forward line at least. You know, I
Number
mean,
nine.
I'm not getting down on them because they still score the goals, but they normally say if you had a striker, more
Mm-hmm.
goals would have probably go in. I just think that there's a lack of potent sometimes to try and get the goals, especially when those balls whipping in because of the wing play a lot. So that could be an
Mm-hmm.
improvement.
Okay, fair.
All right. One person that's not short of goals, and we can just quickly jump on this because I really thought that yes, they got the penalty, but I thought that Aston Villa also should have gotten the penalty there at the end. Is Mo Salah. He scores again, keeps adding to his tally. I thought they were pretty fortunate, especially Gerard's return game to Anfield. Jamal, you're a resident Gerard follower. How did that game? Did you get to see the game? Did you see the incident at the end for Aston Villa?
No, I didn't get to see any of it. So
You
I
didn't
can't.
see any of it.
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
honestly speak about it.
Did anybody see the Aston Villa penalty shot?
Yes, for Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
With Allison, what was it on Danny Ings? Was it?
Danny Ings, you're right. You're right, Sukwa. That's it. That's exactly right. Was it that hard,
Yeah.
Sukwa?
Was that? I thought they would have reviewed it. I think
Mhm.
had it done so, they might have given it to Aston Villa at the end. But it looked like a foul.
It looked
Because
like
to
a
me,
foul because Danny
he
Ings
didn't get
nicked
the
the
ball.
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think he get the ball. He got the ball, so he brings him down with his right hand. To me,
Mm-hmm.
that's justifiable for a call,
That's a penalty in my book.
You don't
as they
feel
call
like
it,
it's a,
Liverpool.
but Suko, you don't think for me, right? I
Mm.
think for that particular penalty call, it's just a case where the referees are just always more likely to give the goalkeeper the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but I I I I I thought that they would have reviewed it because I mean, again, it's just something that comes back again. I'm looking at the goalkeeping for the last couple of games. I'm looking at in totality. I'm looking at blunders, for example. I think
Mm-hmm.
Allison had one like that a couple of games ago. Mendy had games like where he could just clear the ball. Like it's just a regulation clearance, right? But then they fiddle around and then then you get yourself into a spot where you follow forward. And
Mhm.
I think legitimately that was a call that had they reviewed it or had they sent it to VAR, I believe it would have been a penalty.
Looking at penalty. Kwesi, he's picking up for his team. He says, "What
Mhm.
penalty? Look closely. He didn't touch him." The replays all over Twitter. Jalil is saying, Salah step across Mings, and I think I heard Gerard's press conference, and he was saying that Salah fouled Mings first. I think that was his contention there too. But this was a weekend full of penalties all over,
Mhm.
and we go to another game. I think we had three penalties, two for
Yep.
Chelsea,
And
one
one
for
for
Leeds.
Leeds.
Sukwa,
This
I mean,
boy,
what happened in there? Are you passing some money under the table? What's happening
boy,
there?
let me tell you. I I looked at I watched the game up to a few minutes, and then I mean when I saw um the substitute Gahat, that's his name, has scored, I said, well, that's the 2 points that we dropped, right? And then I'm still looking for the foul on Rudiger that they would
It,
get for a penalty, and because it looks rather very soft. It looks rather soft. I think that just goes with the home crowd, the home pressure, and everything. I think you get that call.
but the bridge was rocking, Sukwa.
Yeah. Hmm.
The bridge was rocking, and you may be right. You may be right. But then,
Yeah.
Sukwa, is it a bit concerning that you have
It is.
conceded 5
Yep.
goals in your last two
Hmm.
games?
For the last 3 games, I believe, or so, 2 to 3 games. But it's because I think the holding midfielders, especially Kante and Kovacic, we haven't had any kind of control over the games the way that Chelsea are comfortable on the ball. So we haven't had that kind of protection in front of the defenders. So what you find, because what I found, I saw it a lot in the game we played against Watford, where we were very fortunate to actually come out with 3 points in that game, and that's where it started because it was from there that the injury started, and then
Mhm.
they look very shaky. Once they press Alonso, if they press him into a lot of mistakes, and he's very slow. He's not one of the. He's good going forward, but he can't defend. And you've seen that for the last two to 3 games, even the game against Zenit in the Champions League, right?
O'Neal is saying it's about time we get some cars. Some cars, Sukwa, and Jorginho is playing injured.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I think he has a back issue as well. So
All right, well, guys. It seems as if it's like we said. I think we said a couple of weeks now, a three-horse race. This year in the title.
mhm.
Man City they're in first, 38 points. Liverpool 37, and Chelsea on 36.
So Shaq,
When you,
which comes back to my question now. Why
when,
would
go
you
ahead.
say this week was drab when you had so much controversy in beating the three teams? City had
Saturday
a game
Sukwa.
against Wolves that was so tight, and that those two teams always have like it's almost like a little rivalry. Like they always have these kind of close games, right? Remember when
Right.
Adama Traore had scored, I think twice at
Yeah,
City,
I think it was last
right?
year. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. With when Nuno was the manager at the time, and then Liverpool Aston Villa, that was a close game, and right until Salah got the penalty, and then Chelsea and Leeds. So
Mhm.
where's the drab affair for the weekend? All three teams escaped 3 points.
All
Yeah,
three with
all
the
All
the
three
big
of
penalty.
them.
Yeah.
all the big teams with penalties. But yo,
Yep.
Jorginho's last penalty was the coldest.
Yeah.
I think Quake has been
I
asking which one is
like
the
his
best
first
penalty.
penalty though, but yeah, his
Hmm?
second one was just
All right.
uh,
O'Neal is saying rather play Joe as left wing back than Alonso. That boy Alonso ain't better
boy.
than me. And if you know who O'Neal is, you know why we laughing at that. You know why we laughing at that. Anything to deal with cheating, O'Neal approve because he likes Juve, so me no really expect nothing different. And then the boss is support Norwich. Anybody that rate Juve can't tell me nothing about cheating. Oh yeah. I know where you're going with that. I know where you're going. I says
That's a
J5.
solid club goal.
J5 is cool. J5 is cool. Then guys, let me just go down because we finished up the Premier League. We're gonna hop on the Champions League right now. For fourth spot, I think we have like a 4-team race. Maybe we can put
Mhm.
Leicester in it because Leicester is on 22 in eighth position. Tottenham on 25, but they are 2 games behind.
Mhm.
Leicester, Arsenal is in 6 with 26 points. Man United 27 27 points, and West Ham 28 points. So we seem like we have
Yep. Yeah, it's very tight, especially if Tottenham with the 2 games in hand.
right 2 games now. But then Tottenham are fraud, so I don't really care about Tottenham. You know, Tottenham are fraud and Leicester fraud. Even though they won 4-0 yesterday, they're still on Brendan Rodgers and Leicester. They're still on fraud watch.
Yeah.
And it's going to take something for very much to move them from there. All right, guys, let's now get to, because Jamal and Joe, I think this is a segment where we ask the questions and we let those other people answer. More, you were saying something?
Let's get drop out. Are you
Yeah,
okay?
to the conference league.
Yes, they're out.
They're
Yeah.
gone to the conference league. And Brendan Rodgers say, to be honest, I don't even know what the competition is.
Oh, that's just shame.
He's lying.
So here we go.
Is this the last one?
Yes, that's the final one.
one.
It's the final one.
Yo, but I thought there was going to be a next draw after this now.
Yes.
This is the last one. It seems so, because when after this last one, after this a final one that we have it now, Jamal sent something in our group. I'm like, oh no, here we go again. We're gonna go round 3. But this is it. This is the last and final draw. Let me just ask you, Moy, you face
Sporting.
Easy draw for you.
Indeed.
Comfortable draw.
Yep.
Boy,
Not tonight.
this one for you, bro.
Not tonight. Tonight is a chill night.
All right, tonight is chill night. All right, so chill. That's an easy draw for you, Moy. You should comfortably come through that. Tukwa, we come to you. You drew Lil, and then they do over the draw, and you still draw Lil again. So it seems like that's destiny. How do you feel about that?
Well, Shaq, as you know, at this stage in the Champions League, it's very these are not automatic ties, right? Even as much as you said, maybe City's draw might be favorable. It might be a little more favorable, yes, but that's not how it's played when it comes to the knockout stages.
I hear you. So do you like your draw, Sukwa? Because you come up with, I think they have David.
Yeah.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. Yeah.
Ikone, I think they have his guy Ikone. They've been doing well. So
yeah. So
let's go ahead.
So not unless Chelsea start getting back into the defensive shape, better defensive shape, as in how they started the season, then we can't really then I wouldn't really be confident yet until we get to that point.
All right. Okay. So Manchester United, they drew PSG, and a lot of people are saying that's why they had to do over the draw, because they didn't like that. They didn't like that. They didn't want Ronaldo Messi, at least not that early. O'Neill is saying United fans can complain. He continues here, when the man then draw back and get sent home, nobody said nothing. All right. So now we look at this, and Manchester United have Atletico Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a harder draw than the PSG draw.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about it, and I saw Joe, you tweeted, I thought that they had a really good chance of beating PSG.
Bro, all PSG has is an attack, and to be honest,
they haven't defended well at all.
Yeah, the attack is not fluent. They don't defend well. Their midfielders are always basically second to everybody else. Even when they play the small teams, their midfield gets outplayed. So I mean, while I understand why everybody was complaining, because the games are not until February, so maybe by then they can pick up some form. But for me personally, if United pick up form, even if PSG was to pick up some sort of form, I still think United had a good chance of beating them.
Yeah.
Right, I agree. I think that the draw of this round was probably Real Madrid and PSG. But let me ask you guys, let me ask you first, and then I'll come to Sukwa. And I would like, okay, I see Munchie in the comments too. So Munchie, I want you to answer that. Let me just get through the comments here. Joe, that's how United fans were talking until they draw PSG. Munchie says here, Jalil, when City just made Champions League and been getting the Bayerns, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, and get knocked out, no one said anything. It's my time now. Let me shine. Munchie in the comments as the City fan.
They complain about Champions League, John. Because year in, year out, when they give me Barca and Bayern,
and I will get slapped.
Nobody they say no.
Nobody time me they think about that way. True, it's so right. More, let me ask you, of all the teams that are left in the Champions League, which team are you fearful the most? Fearful for the most?
Oh, that's an easy question for me, and that is Real Madrid.
You.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've seen how Real Madrid been playing lately, especially with
the Vinny and the Benzema link up.
And then Asensio is coming back now.
And then Madrid is known to get better as the Champions League. As long as they stay in the competition, they always do better.
Not just that. If you are watching the last Madrid game, right? Madrid was in his bag.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't watch the whole game. But yeah, I saw that.
Something I could just point out. I was watching a video before I came on the show, and somebody was pointing out how they realized that the draw is so rigged, because just before the Villarreal draw, I think the person I was joined, he was like, with Man City is going to face Villarreal, and then at that time the draw didn't happen as yet. I don't know if it was true, but the person was just pointing it out. And he said something, so it was kind of interesting, and he was kind of making like, that's why the draw is rigged.
It could have been that they had no one else to face, just like how we thought it was rigged again, or there was an issue where when they gave Liverpool had Villarreal, right, in the second one. If you could put up.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, so when Liverpool have
Inter.
When they were saying something about Liverpool could not play Villarreal, it was because to prevent Inter Milan playing somebody else in the future.
I was in the group.
Yeah, because that's how it was. I wouldn't say it was rigged. It's a preemptive measure to stop something from happening down the line, which you couldn't draw Villarreal against Liverpool. So you'd have to, because Villarreal can't play someone else. I think they were in the group with the two other teams.
All the teams from the same country.
So they were in the same country and from the group of another team.
Right.
That group thing is just only for round of 16, right? And then the quarterfinals, anybody can join, right?
Yeah.
Well, from now on, I don't think they haven't decided the next stage yet. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen, Atletico gonna really test us. I wanna see how break down the low block. I want to see how we break down the low block. O'Neill, I don't know why he's so livid with United right now, but he said, "Boss, right now my hatred for United is back." And I can feel the passion in that statement. Suarez hat-trick loading, says Munchie. All black clean sheet, both legs. This morning, they want me get Bayern and they get PSG and Clyde.
That's facts.
Hey, Shaq, you can go back and tell Manchi that Ronaldo is the only man to score a hat-trick against Oblak in goal.
And he's been known to demolish Atletico Madrid.
That's facts.
But Moy, I didn't get to your answer. Who are you afraid of most in the Champions League now?
Teams also, Shaq.
I didn't hear that.
I'm saying he's known to be on better teams as well when playing Atletico Madrid.
Go ahead, Roy.
I'll go with the Real Madrid shout because they have been very fine form, and I'll still go with Bayern as one because they're one of the favorites also. But PSG last. We played every team except PSG.
Okay, all right. So guys,
who does Ajax draw?
Let me just put it back up right here.
Benfica.
Oh, Benfica. Well, I guess
Okay, so
that's
okay,
the
I
main
know,
type
I
of
know. More
Ajax.
you. Sorry, the sugar. Sorry, I didn't hear you. My
No,
bad.
I'm just saying that that's a favorable draw for Ajax to go forward.
Yeah, man, they should, especially in the farm they have been in coming out of
That's
their
the
group.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should be. So Moy and Sukwa, let me ask you. You're the favorites. You have your team down as being favorites to win it all, right?
Hmm.
Yep,
You back yourself that much,
Possible.
okay? So
Hmm.
so so
good.
Joe and Jamal, this is where we come in. This is the time we get to talk as neutrals. As neutrals, who do you see? Let's say, tell me your semi-final matchup, your final matchup, sorry. Who would you say are the two best teams in left in the competition?
If they don't face each other before, it's Madrid.
Of course,
Yeah,
granted.
Madrid versus Bayern for me. If they don't,
Madrid, I didn't hear that. Madrid,
Madrid,
Yeah,
Bayern.
man.
Madrid, Bayern. That'd be a good final. Joe, what do you think? You agree?
Yeah, for me it's either Madrid, Bayern, or the thing that everybody is expecting, well, was hoping for. If PSG catches form, then it's PSG versus either Madrid or PSG versus Bayern. For me,
The thing with PSG, and I think that we notice is when they played against City, there's a disconnect between their midfield, their defense, and their midfield, the defense and the attack.
on the attack,
It just
there
like you know
is.
what
This is not
they give Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe like, yo, y'all do something, and then we'll try and hold it out.
And then
Mhm.
I feel like the one little connection that was there came from Verratti. Like the one little connection that was there between the midfield and the attack
Right.
that came from Verratti.
Mhm.
And like I mean, Wijnaldum isn't really getting much of a look.
Yeah.
And I think he can be a very integral part, especially in the Champions League. But he needs game time in order for that to happen.
Mhm.
So
But then Joe, we haven't mentioned Liverpool, and
Yeah,
mhm,
Liverpool is a formidable opponent.
mhm,
Mhm.
you can't
that's
rule
true.
them out at
Yeah,
all.
you can't. That's true. We can't rule them out. And
And
again,
then
Liverpool.
and then the guys will be back before from the African
Mhm.
Cup of Nations, so
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
that'll be
true,
enough
true,
time.
true. That's true.
You see?
That's true. But
Mm.
because the thing is with Liverpool, for me, why I have a level of respect for them is Liverpool is one of those teams that even on the bad days find a way to scrape a result. I mean, even though VAR help them sometime, but
I,
you know,
Yeah, the thing is,
Joe,
right,
Joe,
they create
go ahead.
so many chances that one has to go in.
facts,
That's the thing, and
facts.
And
it's more about
you,
outscoring them than keeping them out. I think that's
Mhm.
what it come down to on the day.
you're so right. You're so right. And that's what I'm thinking about Liverpool, especially the only thing I'm thinking right now, of course, I know City have a really good team. Chelsea has been known for being strong defensively in the Premier League. I'm like, yo, but Liverpool they just keep going and they just keep going. And when you expect them to hit a little blip here, they don't. And they just keep going again. They may be a dark horse. They may be
Yeah,
a
true.
dark horse. Jaleel is saying, my thing is with PSG, bro, if they find 70% farm, nobody beating them. Genie right now, I'm up for loan move in January, as per report.
Yeah, I heard Arsenal.
Football is played. You
Mhm.
like that move, Jamal?
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be good for our midfield.
It doesn't get any. It can't get no worse. So why not?
Uh, Football is played on the day, says Jaleel. Y'all
Yeah.
just scared. Y'all be scared of names on a paper. Into getting 5 first leg and 10 second leg. Bet your house and land on that. All right, let's skip over that command. Y'all go ahead and sleep on Inter. Yo, I was just thinking that. I don't
Yeah.
know
I'm
why he
saying.
thinks. I don't know why he thinks that Inter is some kind of walkover, bro.
Make it go ahead.
Jaleel is saying attacking football versus attacking football. I agree.
Make it
Sleep
go
on
ahead.
into your peril, Kwesi. Sleep on into your peril.
Inter is not one of those teams that's going to come and allow Liverpool to play their high line and press them and sit back now. You come at me, I come at you. So yeah, go ahead, rule out.
And what's his name? I don't know how you pronounce his name. I hope I don't butcher it. Shannon Naglu. he is balling right now.
Channel Ugly.
Yeah.
Thank you. That name. He is balling.
When were we linked with him? Last transfer window?
Yeah.
A couple windows back. But then you guys, you know, when you play FIFA and you have the time finish on there right now, it's like the name that Jamal said. It's like he has that down pat. Because when he takes shots from outside the box, it's top bins.
Yeah.
Top bins.
He used to play for AC Milan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a controversial
Right.
when AC Milan were now coming up to at least challenge for the title. He switched sides.
Oh.
And that's what Zlatan was like ripping him apart about. Now they're going toe to toe for the title. They're 1 point ahead. Inter Milan.
All right, Hakan, a big baller. You know what? I should just call him Hakan. Thank you, O'Neil. Hakan, big baller, set piece magician. You're right. This is Liverpool on a European night. Come on. So he's backing his team because it's a European night. So all I have to say is to Kwesi, bet your house and see what happens. Same Liverpool on a European night went home to a mid-Real Madrid team last season. Relax. Yo, for real, it's coming up on that 1 year anniversary, ain't it? Of Urique's infamous comment. We're coming up with a house on fire, like a house on fire. It's true. We all beat them heavily. It was that. Liverpool on a European night is unstoppable. And he said, Jalil is backing up O'Neil here. Facts, guys. So, guys, that's it. We don't know if they're going to be Premier League games tomorrow. Super saying that Man United game being called off already. Let us hope. I mean, for us here, because I look forward to this time. I'm home. I just want to watch football every day. So I'm hoping that we could get some games and they don't have to just scrap the whole thing over this festive period. I really look forward to this, to these times.
Yeah. Wait, just before we go, Rangers drew Dortmund in the Champions League, and I am trying to get tickets to that.
In the Europa League.
Yeah, the Europa League. Yeah, and they're already telling me that all are spoken for already. The draw was today.
Right.
I don't think it's a gun. That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
but that's gonna be a good game, though.
Yeah.
On that thought, no. They had a report, I think from Sky Sports, they were saying that it's sad because after the draw, there was like persons waiting to purchase their ticket. And imagine these people already purchased these tickets and the draws had to be done over. It was like, imagine the scenes when they realized that had to happen.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's fun.
But anybody want to answer this question?
You know, it's all good.
Anybody? Jamal, Joe? I didn't want this part of the draw.
We drew West Ham. We'll be playing them on Wednesday.
Yo, Wednesday's the Champions League night, ain't it, Joe?
Yeah, man. We'll be playing West Ham.
On the light.
Tune in.
And it's in England is in Europe, so it's a European night. We could argue that.
And look, argument. A team who is also currently in Europe.
Yeah.
This game playing at the London
Let me ask you. How?
Yes.
No, we are home. No, Emirates.
We're home.
Did you preview that game between Arsenal and West Ham?
If we what?
Mad game, you know. Did you preview the Arsenal West Ham game?
No.
Hopefully, no, we didn't. Yo, for real, we should have previewed games. I didn't even remember that we didn't have time. Okay, let's run through it quickly. Just right on an hour. Let's do them quickly. Let me pull up the games. I didn't remember. Thank you, Sukwa. Let me get it loaded.
Well, the Brentford Man U game is out. Okay.
Yeah, that game is cancelled, postponed.
Norwich Aston Villa.
Norwich Villa, right?
You'd expect Aston Villa to win that, but at the same time, I would also say
Dean Smith going up against his old team.
Yes, I was just about to say at the same time, let's not count Norwich out because they had a very commendable performance against Man United. So it can go either way. For me, the expectation is that Aston Villa will win though.
Okay. Yo, the man just give me the comments of that. Sometimes on the show, I try to focus and O'Neil and Jalil, they just get kill me. All right, so guys, so we are Aston Villa win.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I would say so.
I'm watching Aston Villa win. Man City leads 4.
Man
Boy,
City way, of course, that's easy.
4. You confident?
You
Oh,
just going
Monty
3 goals.
Bamford is still out, Joe. I think so.
From the looks of it, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Bamford is
I
still out.
think so.
And
think I
Rafinha
saw
had to come off early versus Chelsea.
Yeah, I think I saw. I might be wrong, but I could have sworn I saw something saying Bamford was back in training, but he still probably won't be ready for that game. So yeah, and then again, like you said,
Nobody pay them boys
like you
anyway.
said, Rafinha came off, so that's a whole nother thing too.
O'Neal
redemption,
with
ending the game.
thing 4-0. And he says, wait, Leeds bang I last year with 10 man. It's true.
Ooh,
Moy, Leeds bang last year with 10 man.
not that I can recall.
Yeah. I think I remember that game. It was like a 2-0. City were pushing and then Leeds score again in like
Score and the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leeds smoke and be a City Pack class. Yeah. Alright, so but then that's not gonna happen,
And it's
Moy.
so
Moy
unfortunate that Leeds bang me down and United still gonna catch up. So y'all hush, please. Thank you.
oh boy, hear them.
Finally.
Alright, so Brighton Wolves.
That may be a draw. I think that's because they don't have Raul Jimenez up top.
Yeah, Jimenez outside.
Yeah.
Stupid
That
yellow.
was one of the most stupid red cards I've ever seen.
Very stupid red card
I
to
cannot
get,
believe
by
it.
the way.
Yeah.
But it's his own fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But
It's
you
like-
can see that he realized, because if you watch his reaction after he got it, it's like he thought about it and he was like,
Yeah.
too late
And that first half had like 7 extra minutes. Just because of the cards,
Just because of that.
Yeah. But then the thing, and the worst part about that is, right, Jimenez went and got a red card, when to be honest, it was still anybody's game.
It was, the game was a stalemate at that moment.
Yeah, they had a chance to actually pull a result. Because City
I think Wolves have been doing well,
Yeah,
I think
City
they
won.
just
Appreciate that game
7.
was so poor.
Yeah, facts.
O'Neal is upset with the Brighton fans. He has some very choice words for them here in the comments, but this is the one that I could say. Them a boo Graham Potter. He says gunshot for them, and we're not inciting violence here on the show. We are not inciting violence at all. Okay. He doesn't mean it literally. Of course not. He doesn't. Burnley Watford. Watford. You don't think Watford to win this game?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'm rocking Watford. And I'm saying 3-1 Watford.
3-1.
I'm going 2-0 Watford.
Yeah, this is basically a relegation 6-pointer here.
Yeah.
When Burnley kept West Ham to a clean sheet, was it?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so that's gonna be very interesting.
That they're gonna concede 3 goals, isn't it? It's a bit crazy on my part.
Yeah.
I think that was down to West Ham though, in a sense, because West Ham had most of the ball, but they were just awful in the final third. They weren't good in the final third at all.
We have a couple people saying Burnley win. Munchie says Burnley win. O'Neal says Burnley win, and I don't know what's up with the house tonight, but everybody wants to bet the house. So put your house on it that Burnley will win 1-0. All right, so O'Neal, since you were so confident, I'll change my prediction and I'll rock with you. 1-0 Burnley. 1-0 Burnley. Crystal Palace coming off a really good win yesterday.
I think Crystal Palace wins that game.
Crystal Palace, Southampton, they win that game.
Yeah, I expect them to win that game, and not just win it, but comfortably. Yeah, to be honest. Right. Yo, Sukwa, So he missed it, right? My proposition
You
for you,
need to
right?
know. I know where you going, you know.
My proposition for you, right? So
Tell
he
me.
missed it. Me give you Pepe for Gallagher. How much son?
You saw that nigga
Yeah.
outside. Outside. Super say yeah. Yo, me there like what? Me love super. Me
No,
love
right
super. Hey,
now, no.
super. Come
Right
on,
now,
come on, be El Nenny. And you give our mate him out.
Uh-huh.
No. Me no want Mason Mount. Don't do that. Don't
Hear
do
that.
that.
You can
Do
go
that.
ahead. You can get ahead. But my boy Mason Mount. I've watched your boy from my boy Mason Mount.
Yo,
Which is
Joe on
the
the
one
man.
thing I say with Mason Mount, right? The one thing I say with Mason Mount is that at least we know for a fact that we have somebody in the midfield who's going to play direct.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I will say about
And not
Mason.
just run around the field like a headless chicken. And he's actually shutting up Jamal this year because he's adding goals and assists to his game.
Yeah.
He's putting up the numbers, but can he keep it up?
Yeah.
Well, only time will tell.
He's walking
Only
the walk,
time will tell.
but will he trip up and fall?
Arsenal West Ham.
Well, it's too quiet. They want to know if you're trading Amiga Man pizza for big banana pizza.
Man,
This one.
Right, no. Disclaimer, right? Man, cry on big banana, but right now, me and my pizza tastes better than big banana.
Yeah, but no, cry on big banana.
No.
Let's not cry on big banana. Next thing they could sponsor us. So let me not. I'm not crying on big banana. I'll move on. But no, this is a serious one. Go ahead, Maury. Sorry.
Subway and KFC there, especially KFC, especially on holidays.
Yo, KFC got a really good special going on right now, ain't it? Some kind of wicked Santa box or something. Question though. This is what I want to touch on. That boy go back Chelsea, nah go on with nothing. If he goes back to Chelsea, is he warming the bench?
Yes. And this could be a case of Lukaku, De Bruyne, Salah all over again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he should stop thinking about Chelsea.
Honestly.
You think so?
But does he not have the ability to play like a deeper role? For example, I'm just saying.
He looks like
Looking at
it. He looks like it.
Yeah, because I've seen him play deeper for Crystal Palace, and I mean he's on set pieces and stuff. So I mean he still has that potential. So
I
guess time will tell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, you have players like Mount and so in the team. Why he can't come and be a regular like them? Okay, guys, let's touch on Arsenal, West Ham. I think earlier a couple people in the comments were saying that West Ham gonna slap us up, but I'm confident. We're at the carpet. I'm always confident. Maybe that's the problem. But I'm always confident. Arsenal. I'm confident Arsenal win. You guys agree? Jamal, Mesut, Ramsdale. Suku, you understand about Jamal Jackie?
It's a draw.
Nah, John again, but they get slap up and they go past there.
You know, I'm gonna lie to you,
Put your house on it.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Oh boy, Joe, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate going into these kind of games. For example, Mikel Antonio hasn't scored in 6 games. I hate
and you can bet he's gonna score against us.
I hate going into games when these
Joe, you just messed it up. You're not supposed to
look
say
at the Everton stat. Everton haven't won a game in 10 days. Right?
Guys, you know, every time before games right now, I don't listen to previous shows because I don't want to hear those kind of stats. Joe, you weren't supposed to say it, bro.
No, I have to say it, man.
It's going to happen.
Bro, I hate playing against teams
that
when they have all these weird stats. They haven't taken a point in 12 games, and then lo and behold, they come and not only beat Arsenal, but look like the better team too. # Everton.
Joe, I feel the same way.
You
like
remember
when
the Burnley
Antonio
stat from last year at the Emirates?
Yes, boss.
Go ahead.
Joe, I feel the same way when Chelsea have to play West Ham and Antonio hasn't scored like nothing in like so long, and then he'll just nick a goal or something. It's always that kind of player.
Yo, and the thing is with Yo, and the thing is, no, but it's facts. But you know, the thing
Yeah.
is with Antonio too, right? Is that the minute he scores a goal, you
That's
allow
it. He
him to
gonna.
get
Yep.
into the game, that man's aggression
Well, sure.
goes to 100, and that's not an easy job for any defender in the league. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. That's not an easy job for any defender in the league. So for me personally, I think this game will go down to how we start off. Because, for example, the way we
Exactly.
started
No, that's
against
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Southampton, the way we started against Southampton, we cannot go start like that against West Ham, as that's a problem. So, and if we do start like that, I think we'll salvage a draw. But once we start, you know, good and everything, and we not only start good, but not just a one goal, we need to score at least two. You know, and then try to take control of the game. Because the thing is, now playing against a team like West Ham, one of the most important things is to just keep the ball from them.
Yeah, because when
To
they
be
get the
honest.
ball, like, it's direct
Yeah.
football. Basically.
Direct football. So you just need to keep the ball from them. So
We don't say that's the pick of the week in terms of games
Yeah, I
fixtures.
think Thursday there's a couple ones on Thursday.
Thursday
Leicester
there's
Spurs.
Leicester Spurs. If that
Yeah,
if that goes
if
ahead,
that happens,
Yeah, that goes ahead.
Yeah, that might not go ahead.
yeah, then who else? That's it? That's the only game?
no,
Chelsea-
there's Liverpool.
I mean, okay,
and
sorry.
Liverpool, Newcastle.
Go ahead, guys. You have it.
Yo, so anybody think
Mhm.
that it is just possible? Listen, right? I'm tempted for triple captain Salah, right? For Newcastle game. But the way how football is set up,
Newcastle go win.
Joe, what happened to you tonight, man?
honestly,
No way.
You want to be about all the bad news, isn't it?
no, honestly,
You like you're coming out of the grid.
just imagine.
In other news,
Just imagine,
more is
bro.
not in 30 something anymore.
If Newcastle was to beat Liverpool, I'm telling y'all, they're going to go on a run after that. 100% sure.
If
So are you saying that you are picking Newcastle to beat Liverpool?
No, I mean, use them kind of jokes, man. I was just saying, you know, hypothetically. Hypothetically.
Okay, yo, my fantasy with Spurs games, right, is true. It's
yeah,
true.
go ahead.
Joe being a realist, made triple captain son.
What son get COVID?
Okay, okay. So, Sukwa, Chelsea, Everton.
I think I believe we would win that game, but it's gonna be another close game because I would probably say about
Close.
2-1. I mean, we haven't been doing well defensively.
Close.
That
So
game,
you're too humble, man. Just stop it.
no,
Yeah,
man,
super for real. It's Everton.
yeah, but
It's Everton.
that's the same Everton that beat Arsenal like 2 games ago.
Yeah, that's what
Right,
I was
but then
saying.
that's Arsenal. Then you know how the only thing Arsenal's consistent in is being inconsistent.
Yo, that's facts. Yo, the thing is, Nasuka, that Everton win, to be honest, was more, in my opinion, was more down to a bad Arsenal performance than Everton actually being good.
Yeah.
And I see Demari Gray start picking up some form all of a sudden.
No, he
You know,
might
he
not
started
picking
getting
up no farm.
Yo,
2-1
Why you
shot.
saying that about Joe?
Chelsea.
No, but
The man not picking up. Well, he got another assist yesterday on the wrong team for the wrong team. Though.
Yo, the thing
Yeah.
is, Demari Gray, why he's never really made it in the Premier League, while I like him as a player, why he's never really made it in the Premier League is his lack of consistency. And sometimes his decision making is awful. Because,
Yeah.
for example, even in that same game, they had like 2 particular chances where if Demari Gray had stayed out wide, like he should have, and drawn the defender, they would have been in that goal. But instead, he was crowding the space. So, you know.
The rapper understack him. Suka, I don't care what you're going to say. I don't care what you think. You can't lose the game. You can't lose that game.
Yo, that'd be shocking.
Shaq, that is the season where funny things happen, around, especially the midweek games. So
That's
I
All
will
right.
tell you, I call all the
Christmas
games
time too.
important. Yes, exactly that.
no, that'd be
So,
shocking,
Kwa,
the boss. Oh, what is this?
so Kwa,
So,
if
I
I
you
mean,
mean,
want to be
if
humble,
you
you
want
be
to be
humble
humble, if you want to be humble, bro,
because
I can't go against you. But man, bro, I don't
because
see you losing that
if
game.
you get slapped from Everton, them same man,
Exactly.
I tell you,
They'll
go
come.
on up.
Yes.
They're gonna laugh at you.
It's
You have to watch for the
Joe
fake friends and them
must
Yes.
too, Kwa.
run.
Watch
Thank
your
you.
back.
Thank you,
facts.
Moy.
Facts.
Facts.
Jokes must run. Nobody take it to
Yo, no, but
O'Neal
for
is
real,
saying
no.
Chelsea do stupidness every December.
Every December. No, but for real, if you all
Yeah.
lose to Everton, right? Oh, what did you get? I hear me say
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
Boss, for 5-year extension, no.
They might beat Arsenal and Chelsea in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yo,
But they lost to Crystal Palace in between there.
It
Yes.
don't
oh,
matter.
You see now, what has
We win the
happened
big
is
games.
that
facts.
they don't have. I think Richarlison went off before 60 minutes. You know, he was vexed with, with Benitez,
Yeah.
and then as soon as he brought on Rondon scored. So that's a that's the craziness about it. But right now they don't have any really good fit strikers up front. So I think that hurts Benitez even further
Yo, not just that.
when you look at it.
The team that
Hmm.
beat us, they had a lot of changes because Yerry
Hmm.
Mina came off with his foot injury again. Alan was
Yeah.
injured, so Alan couldn't play. They still have what's his name out.
Dine was
Um,
out.
sorry?
Mhm.
So got Dine was out.
Yeah, Dean is out. You still
Yeah, I
have
think Alan out as well too.
and you still have the main striker out. So to be honest, while I understand, the performances have been really bad though, so I understand why maybe people are calling for Rafa's head. But Rafa really in a bad position because like
Yeah.
all your important players are just going
All
out
his
one by
important
one.
players, yeah, going on one by one. So hard luck on him.
Yeah, for real.
Hmm.
Well, you don't know me the care boy. Me the care, he can come 18 for me. I try to come and take fines out for me, but I like them somebody.
Well,
I like them somebody. I like them
You
somebody.
salty, bro.
It's okay. It's okay, man, have a salty. But then that one is an Arteta. That one is an Arteta. Don't tell that to O'Neal again. Tell that to O'Neal again. So guys, we can only hope that we have games to look
yeah,
forward to. Tuesday, Wednesday, and
yeah.
Thursday. But God's willing, we should be able to see you back again on Thursday. What happened, you know? Hard luck on Ole. Pogba, hard luck on Ole. Pogba went down, Varane went
Varane
down,
went down.
and he got sacked.
Yeah.
I told them the exact thing would be harsh to sack him with all those injuries.
Yo, but then they lose with them.
So when we say bring back Ole, give Ole a fair chance. Okay, no, but you're not and you know what? I'm going to close the show because Jolly is not going to finish.
We all them money.
Jolly is not. Watch this, bro. Really. And guys, I'm not bringing up the same comments over and over again. He literally typed all those. We were losing with you, idiot. Ole didn't get a good chance, guys. Thanks.
I agree.
No, hey, make a back up Jelly. Yeah, leave him alone. Yeah, trying to jowl Jelly. Yeah, leave him alone. On that note, guys, thank you, Jamal, the Blues, Mesut Ramsdale, Raheem Redemption for joining us tonight. It was good talks. I see the comments going again. You know, Jelly is livid. Jelly is livid. He's saying 3 years. 3 years he endured Ole. All right, well, guys, see you guys again on the next show.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.